Yes, I am now. That was my fault, y'all. I want you to take your Sing to the Lord songbook. And I just want to start tonight by singing a couple of verses of Psalm number 612. Psalm number 612. I want to sing the first verse and the third verse. And I want you to stand with me as we sing this tonight. Have you ever thought that sometimes life throws more curves at you than you're good at hitting? You ever feel that way? It's like, why didn't you throw me a fastball? I can hit a fastball. I can't hit a curve. Never been good at it. Sometimes life feels that way. You know what we have to remember? We have to remember that God is in control. He always is. And I just want to sing the first verse and the third verse of this song, and then we'll just see where the Lord leads us next. But let's sing it. Lee, would it hurt? Would it hurt to just go to C instead of B flat? Would that be all right? Let's sing it together.
I don't know about tomorrow. I just live from day to day. I don't borrow from its sunshine. For
Lord, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for already speaking to our hearts. Oh God, bless this service. Touch each one of us this evening. You know every burden we carry. You know our online audience tonight. You know what people are going through. You know about our people that are on vacation. Be with them. Keep them safe. Oh God, touch our hearts tonight. Speak to each one of us, I pray. Jesus, we're trusting you to have your perfect will and way. In Jesus' name I pray. And all God's people said, Amen. You may be seated. Well, we had it look like a duet there for about 10 minutes, and lo and behold, a bunch showed up. Didn't you, bro? And I'm happy. If you're ready to hear the kids choir sing tonight, would you say amen? Amen. Amen. Well, we have some microphones around here, don't we? Let's see, I've got 2 over here. Oh, did you change your mind, dear Brother Avery? Would you like to use Pastor Don's microphone? There you go. Oh, you'd rather not? Okay, you can. There you go, bro. Is your mic on? Okay. God bless them as they sing. Amen. I wish I could jump off the platform like that. Well, let's have some testimonies tonight. Let's see, Brother Roger. I need your help, but I'm going to give you the side where if they all testify, we'll be thrilled. But you won't have to work that hard. Brother Ronnie, could you help me over here? Brother John Anderson is in Kabul, Mexico. Now, that's just not of God, is it? No. I'm just jealous sick. And Brother Hires is with his daughter tonight, her grandbaby. We're going to pray for the grandbaby shortly, but I'd love to hear some testimony. Kat, the Lord bless you.
I am thankful for God tonight, and I praise God tonight. My mom went into the hospital yesterday to have gallbladder surgery yesterday. Her name's Catherine Kerner. Everything went through wonderfully. They did keep her overnight because her oxygen was a little low, but she did recover and came home this afternoon, and I praise God that she made it through her recovery and her surgery wonderfully.
Amen. Thank the Lord. That is good news. Paige?
I wanted to thank the Lord tonight. I've been feeling really close to God these last few days. Like Thursday through Saturday was like really hard. And I finally was able to find my ground, find my stable ground
Amen.
in my devotions, and it was like, thank you, Jesus. Anyway, it's not what I started to say, but I heard today someone talking about how when we get so busy, our mind starts to wander, and then at that point we don't even remember what we did that day. And it talks about how if we have an anchor in our mind, it helps us to be able to, when our mind wanders, come back to what we're doing and be in the moment. And it made me think of our anchor in Jesus and how when we wander away from Him, when we realize oh hey, this isn't good, we're always able to find our way back to Him, where we started. And so that's just kind of what I thought of today, and I wanted to share. And I love Jesus.
Thank the Lord. Amen. Praise God. Brother Terry.
That song, I don't know about tomorrow. I was getting ready tonight, and Gaither, not Gaither, but George Johnson, that group, the Cathedrals, they were singing that song, I don't know about tomorrow. I've sung and heard that all my life when I was growing up, but I realized that today it means even more. It's more comforting to know that I know who holds tomorrow. The day we're living in, it's good to have something we know.
Amen.
And one that cares, one that loves us, and will keep us. So, I don't know about tomorrow, but I know one who does. Praise the Lord.
Praise God. Thank the Lord. Sister Gloria, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too. At bumper to bumper traffic on the interstate, I wasn't so sure I was going to get here tonight. But
Just knock them out of the way, sister.
well, but you know what? I just said, dear Lord, I need you to clear all this traffic so I can go to church. So I cut off on the interstate and came in Emerson. Well, all the truckers had the same idea. But that's okay. I was on time.
Thank the Lord.
But so we cleared it enough. I got here on time. But I love him so much. I tell you, I miss when I can't be in church. But I want to share one little thing. Last week, my son that drives a truck, he called me and he said, Mom, were you praying for me this evening? I said, well, how'd you know? He said, Mom, I want to tell you, I was coming down Man Road. He said a Lifeline helicopter landed right in front of me. No cops to stop traffic or anything. He said they had an accident out in the field. He said the cops, instead of going out there or watching the road, he said they went out where the accident was. The helicopter landed right in the middle of Man Road. He said, Mom, it's sitting right here in front of me. And he said, how I missed it, I have no idea, except that I knew my mom was praying.
Wow.
And I said, dear Lord, I said, while I still talking, I said, dear Lord, I thank you for keeping me alert to what you want me to do.
Amen.
I said, if I can't get out and go, at least I know how to pray.
Amen.
But I tell you, it's just, we never know what's going to be right up there in front of us, and I really enjoyed that song this evening. I don't know about tomorrow, but I do know who holds my hand.
Praise God. Praise God. Thank the Lord. Who's next?
First thing this morning, my sister sang me that song. My God is so big, so strong, so mighty.
Wow.
There's nothing that my God can't do. I don't think I've ever heard that song before. So I really wanted to, I was going to YouTube it today so I could hear the next part. what it was about, but I just thought that was amazing that God didn't wait for me to YouTube it. He
Yes,
just
right.
let them sing it to me tonight.
Yes, he
Lord,
did.
and I want Miss Child can go ahead and
Thank the Lord. Praise God. Brother George. Oh, you know what, Brother George, hold 2 seconds because we've got one up here. Is that okay? Go ahead, Melinda.
So, a couple weeks ago, I was reading a verse stuck out to me, and it was, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God, in Christ Jesus concerning you." And I guess a lot of times we're like, oh, what's the will of God? What's the will of God? And there are verses that literally say, this is the will of God. And I was like, okay, so I need to do this. I need to work on this because I tend to, be negative, or I tend to not see the good in things. And so I was like, I intended to work on that, and I was like, I'm going to do better. Well, I failed. Really bad, and a few days after I had determined that I was going to do better, I was really feeling God's displeasure with me. And I think it was just different than since I've been saved, I don't think I've ever felt it quite like this. And it was to the point where, I kind of like a kid not wanting to get spanked. You kind of avoid your parents. I was kind of avoiding prayer, And I finally was like, there's a verse somewhere that talks about chastening. And so I looked it up, and in Hebrews 12, it says, "My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If you endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons." And so I sat there and I was so discouraged, but then this joy came because I was like, I'm his.
Praise God.
I'm one of his children. And
Absolutely.
this is how I know that I'm his, because before I was saved, I didn't feel this rebuke. I didn't feel chastened. I would look at things and go, oh, maybe I should do that. And then I would wait and it would go away and I was fine. But no, God wasn't going to let me stay there. And then later on he says it's because he wants to make us holy.
Amen.
He wants to make us like him. And I just love the Lord, and I'll never get over it.
Praise God. Thank the Lord. Brother George, go ahead. Somebody stole your spot there, Ronnie Roman. Sorry.
I love the Lord tonight. I appreciate these really uplifting songs as we come into the sanctuary tonight. The Lord is just so good to us. He's been good to me. I haven't had to use my cane now for a number of days, and it seemed like the doctor wrote an order for physical therapy for me. Well, I haven't had a chance to turn that in because I've had physical therapy at home, crawling around picking my blackberries.
There you go.
It's been good exercise for Monday and then again today, so I had to pick them about every day. So I do love the Lord. I thank the Lord for the produce He gives us in the garden and the yard, and He's really touched me. I got out of bed this morning, I began to wonder because my back was hurting and whatever. I got all limbered up, as my dad used to say, and everything seemed to be okay. So I love the Lord. I praise Him tonight for salvation. I'm glad that He saved me, sanctified me, He's keeping me, and He's helping me. And I intend to go all the way with Him because I know that it's going to get better by and by.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right. Praise God. Thank the Lord. Who's next? Sister Lucy.
Well, while the mic is here, I'll just talk in. I didn't know if I should testify tonight, but I'm going to defeat the devil. He's after me and ain't gonna let him get me. I'm gonna run and hide under the wings of my Heavenly Father. Everybody I talked to today on the phone said, "You're high." My sister said, "You're high." Mary Beth said, "You're high." George said, "You're high." Well, the Lord already prepared an appointment at 5 o'clock at my psychiatrist, so I took my high to him. I said to him, "The medicine you gave, you doubled it because you thought I was depressed." "No, you missed it. You guessed wrong. I wasn't depressed. So what you gave me just tipped me up and up and up. Till today, when I was telling George what all I planned to do, he took a breath and said, "You're high." Well, then it's dangerous to come to church because, I mean, there's no holding me back. I want to testify. The devil said, don't do it. You'll say too much. But how can you say too much when you're in the care of your Heavenly Father? I heard a wonderful message of Independence, Kansas camp meeting, Holiness camp meeting yesterday, and I thought I had a new one on today, and I heard at the same time, same one again. But you know, it was about the Lord's Prayer, which I've heard the series that I think you preached on the Lord's Prayer.
I tried, Sister Lucy.
You did.
I did.
And I had it preached to me twice now again. But it was just so good to know that the one we're praying to is alive
Praise
and well, and he knows us exactly what we need. And he doesn't make mistakes in giving us a dose of happiness and joy, and sometimes it just bubbles out. And sometimes you stuff it down. Oh, you wouldn't do that. But I'm telling you, God is good to me to give me. He gave me a clear conscience. And I can put my head on my pillow at night and bam, I'm asleep. I know the medicine knocked me out. Not really. God has a way to help you where you need your help. If you need a crutch, if you broke your leg, help us. You wouldn't walk around without what you need. If you hurt your back and the doctor says, you know, whatever, you do what you have to do to get rid of pain, and sometimes pain doesn't get rid of. If you have pain in your brain, well, you don't go to a foot doctor and ask for a pair of shoes to help your pain in your big toe. Where do you go to get help? I'm telling you what, God knows. He prepared a fish for those disciples to pay their taxes.
That's right.
He absolutely knows what and where, and he sends me where I have to go. And I know relatives especially don't like to hear it because they may have come to the conclusion that they have some of my genes in them, and they may have to go see a quack or whatever they nickname these doctors I go to. But I'm telling you, God sends me, and today I found out my doctor goes to church. You know how? So he said Sunday morning I was playing tennis, and I stopped just in time to go to church. And then before I left the park, I saw people under a shelter. He joined them. They were all of one color. He did not match, but he stayed. And he said it was wonderful. And I'm like, ooh, he goes to church. And I just was amazed. And I've been seeing this same doctor for a long time. He hadn't cured me yet. But I have come to the conclusion God has gifted me with my brain. And he's in charge, not George. Not my sister Susie, how well she'd like to tell me what to do, what to say, where to go. And it's not even Mary Beth, as much as I love that girl. I have to talk to God. And sometimes he wakes me up from a nap in the afternoon and he's talking to me. He did today. He is so faithful.
Amen.
So be amazed that I'm going to sit down right now.
Sister Lucy, if you'd have requested higher ground tonight, I would have known why. Who else has it? Sister Donna. Brother George. No, not Brother George. That's Gene. I'm high now. Go ahead.
I do love the Lord. I want to serve him. I'm just thinking that the Lord does chasten us because he loves us. I remember I'd just been saved and we're working the hayfield and neighbor board with us and Mother brought the meal out to us there in Hatfield. I just, I knew I should return thanks, but no, I wouldn't do that, wouldn't never go there. But God chasing me, and I never failed to return thanks again.
Praise
I
God.
love him, my servant.
Praise God. Sister Donna.
Roger and I made a quick trip to Louisville yesterday, and on the way back, there was a sign across the road that was saying, danger ahead, danger ahead, danger ahead. I thought, okay, any minute the traffic's going to back up and we're going to be here the rest of the day. Well, it was a few miles down the road and traffic started backing up. And a big utility wire had come down on the interstate and hit a semi. And what Linda was talking about, sometimes the Lord runs those danger signs in front of us. Danger ahead, danger ahead. Don't go that way. We would do it for our kids. We would tell our kids, don't touch that, it's hot.
Right.
Don't do that, it's hot. And we do it why? Because we love them. And we want to see them do good, and we don't want to see them get hurt. And sometimes I think it's easy for us as adults, even, who love the Lord with all our hearts, to think, it won't hurt one time. Or if I just say that, or if I just do it this way, my way. And I'm thankful for the chastising of the Lord. You did me today, this week too, when you don't feel bad. And I'm thankful for it, because I don't want to go that way. I don't want to have a critical spirit, and I want to be kind and compassionate. And I'm just so thankful that He knows also that we're human. And I'm not God, and I don't want to play God. But most of all, I just want to be an example, the best example I can be, and show love. And I just love Him with all my heart, and I want to make it to heaven.
Praise God. Thank the Lord. Anyone else?
We sing that chorus, Jesus knows I am
Oh, man.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think the chorus is, oh, yes, He knows, my Jesus knows just what I need. Oh, yes, He knows just what I need. He satisfies my every need, supplies. Yes, He knows just what I need. Praise God.
When Sister Gloria, I asked her if she's going to testify, and she said, yeah, if you do, you better testify. And God has been so good to me. And the other day I was thinking that I heard some kids sing, there's peace like a river. And I thought, that's kind of odd in a way. But Don and I, sometimes when we're on vacation or we were over at the Creation Museum last year, and we just took an afternoon and went down and sat by the river. And the peace that just seemed to come to my heart while I'm sitting there watching this river flow by. And you know, there's a peace that only Jesus can give. That the world doesn't know anything about it.
That's right.
And they cry for peace and peace and peace, and they just think that this is what's going to give us peace. But only to have the presence of God in our heart and life is going to give us peace.
That's
And
right.
I'm glad for peace like a river.
Praise
There's
God.
times whenever God can just draw close and just flood your soul with His peace.
Amen.
Nothing like it in the world. I love Him tonight.
Praise God. Yes, Brother Larry.
I'm glad that I know Jesus.
Amen.
I've been thinking a couple of weeks now, we are joint heirs with Jesus.
That's right.
That's not something that you can think about and not joy fill your heart. Then kids tonight sung a song I never heard before. God is powerful.
That's right.
There is absolutely nothing that God can't do.
That's right.
I know the world thinks we've got a climate change. If it's a climate change, God's in control.
That's exactly right.
I'm just so glad to know that I am a child of the King.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. I'm glad I know who Jesus is. I'm glad I know who Jesus is. He's more than just a story. He is the King of glory. I'm glad I know who Jesus is. Yes, I'm glad I know who Jesus is. I'm glad I know who Jesus is. He's more than just a story. He is the King of glory. I'm glad I know who Jesus is. Praise God. Sister Shirley.
I'm so glad to be in God's house tonight. I love him tonight with all my heart. He's real. He answers prayer. I love him.
Praise God. Amen. Thank the Lord. Anyone else? Brother Denny.
Thank you. I've heard it said that when you don't feel like testifying, it's probably a sure sign that you need to stand up and do so, right?
That's good advice.
I am excited to be a Christian. I love the Lord. I was praying last night about a situation, and I felt self rising up, and I thought I knew exactly what needed to be done and what needed to be done, and I made the mistake of thinking about that book in his steps. And so while I was praying, I thought to myself, what would Jesus do? And sometimes that's a mistake, and a lot of times I don't mean a literal mistake, I mean it feels like a mistake, right? Because it's hard to do what Jesus would do, a lot harder than to do what I want to do sometimes. But I'm thankful for the Lord and for his faithfulness, and that he knows the times when we need him the most, and that's the times when he draws closest to me, and I'm thankful to him for that. I love
Praise God. Praise God.
I'm
Sister
thankful
Cynthia.
for the Lord tonight, even though I'm not 97. Yeah, 99 was great, and all four of us kids got to be together. Eric had come in to help my nephew, his son, with their motorhome. And I thank the Lord for answering prayer. Jermaine and I went out and got him because he finally got it going so he could drive it home. And he got home without any problems. And I'm thankful for that. I'm glad that God does hear and answer prayer. And I love him supremely.
Praise God. Thank the Lord. Anyone else? Well, these have been good. Thank you, brothers. Well, one more. Go ahead, sister. It'll be the grand finale.
I've just been sitting here not getting up, but today I know God wasn't proud of me, and I wasn't either. I was in a hurry, and I was at Walmart, and I was standing in line. I was kind of back because you're supposed to stay back. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Some lady got right in front of me, and I stood there and I said, I was here. She got so huffy and she laughed. Well, God is faithful. I got huffy too, and so I ended up behind her. So I started talking to her, God help me. And she was talking about the prices of everything and just kind of complaining, and I just listened to her. And then she had something that didn't have a price on it, and she kept saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then God calmed me down, and he gave me that peace that I needed. And I said, it's okay. Just and then you're sorry, and then you're guilty. But I was thinking, you know, if someone saw me or heard me, and I have on the back of my car, child of God, I want God to be, I wanted to show up God, you know? I want Him to be glorified.
Amen.
So I'm working on that.
Well, thank the Lord. I think you also have on the back of your car, happy, happy, happy. Well, thank the Lord. Thank you for these testimonies tonight. I have appreciated every one of them. Sister Lucy, it's okay by me if the medicine is overacting a little bit. It's all right. Pastor Don only gets that much nervous. Now, if I get this much nervous, it's a bad thing, but it's just this much, so it's all right. Indeed. And we're just so happy tonight to see Sister Taylor's sister here. You're an honorary member now, sister. I want you to know that. It's always good when you're able to be with us. And I hope you're doing better. And I know you've gone through a lot physically. Say that again 3 times in the Bible. Yeah. But I'm glad you're here tonight. And, you know, as you can tell, we have several that decided to take the night off. Like I said, the Andersons are in Kabul. And Jean and Carol Stacy were on their way, and Jean's not feeling well. And so I believe they're tuned in tonight. So as we gather and pray, I want us to pray for them. And I think it'd be good to pray for Kat's mom. You said her name was Catherine, right? Let's pray for her. Also, Brother Hires is not here tonight. He's with his daughter and son-in-law. His daughter recently had a baby, and if I understood Brother Hires correctly, the baby's still in the hospital, right, Denny? And I think the baby's doing better, though, correct? But, you know, they've had some real challenges, and Brother Hires needed to be with them this evening. And so I told him that we would specifically pray for this grandbaby. Now, I have to confess to you, I don't remember if he told me. I think he said it was a granddaughter, right? Or was it grandson? Grandson. All right. And when was this baby born? Okay, and still in the hospital. So you can imagine the grief that they've had to go through. So tonight, as we pray, I want you to join me in praying for this grandson, that God would touch this baby. And I know there, Michael, none of the Murdicks are here tonight. I know Roger and Amber and their in-laws are going through an interesting transition. Mark and Sherry sold their house, and they're in the process of moving. And if you've ever gone through that, you know it's a challenging time. Life changes are a lot of times no fun. I want us to pray for them tonight as well. And let's continue to pray for Joyce Howe. I hope Joyce is able to be tuned in tonight. And pray for Ray Haas as well, that God would help him. And I know there are others that, here's what I'm learning. You know, I stand up here and preach, and when I look out across this crowd, unfortunately I can tell when the devil's fighting you all. And I just will bluntly tell you, well, first of all, let me back up and tell you that today some of us met and we had a short chapel service for staff, and we prayed. We prayed here in the John and Gloria Russell Prayer Chapel, where we're going to have chapel for school, and then we went over and we prayed in Principal Powell's office, and we prayed in the Upper Learning Center and the Lower Learning Center and the kindergarten class, and we prayed in the gym. And we just had a good season of travailing prayer before God, and I felt that God really, really met with us. And I gave a little sermonette before we prayed, and you know, I will tell you, the devil fights us all every once in a while. And what I've sensed, you know, I felt like this summer, you know, we've been going through this renovation project, and not everything's gone perfectly, and the pressure is on, and you know, COVID's the Delta variant's making a making a move in America, and I know some are concerned about that and wondering what's going to happen. And just sometimes the cares of life can perplex and grind us, and probably even if we don't realize it, we're being oppressed by the enemy. Listen, I want you to know something. Depression's not of God. It's just plain and simple, not of God. But it happens to us. So if it's not of God, who's it of? Well, it's of the enemy of our soul. And I want you to understand something. The devil fights me every bit as hard as he fights you. And I don't want anyone to ever feel like the devil wants to try to isolate us and marginalize us to where we feel like we're on an island all by ourselves and we're fighting the enemy all on our own. You're not. You know what the truth of the matter is? Every person here tonight is fighting the devil. Every person here tonight is fighting their own specific battles. And the devil is trying to discourage people and to depress people and to divide people. And you know what? I want you to know this. God is greater than any problem that we have. Any problem we have, God is greater. I'll shout it from the housetops. He is greater than any problem that we have. Don't ever forget that. And so in the midst of all of this, and I know summer's winding down, and kids are going back to school, and you know, that's even causing some controversy and some grief, and you know, there's so much going on. In the midst of all of that, please know that God is still God, and Jesus is still interceding for us, and prayer still changes things. Don't forget that. And so let's pray that God would help us this weekend and give us a great day Sunday, and move among us and help us. And I was so grateful for how he helped us this past Sunday. I was so happy that the orchestra was back up and running Sunday night. Wasn't that awesome? And did you see there's a bass guitar up there tonight, which, Lord willing, is going to be fired up Sunday night, right, Denny Harris? Absolutely. And so it's just exciting that the Lord is helping us. And sometimes you have to stop and count your blessings, folks. You know that? You got to do that. Because the devil's going to make you think that it's all going bad. It's not all going bad. You know, we may have the worst president we've ever had in our lives, but it's not all going bad. That was a political statement, wasn't it? And the devil may be fighting, and this one may be discouraged and falling off the bandwagon, but it's not all going bad. Because God's still in control, and in the midst of every storm, God is working out his plan in all of our lives. And I'm grateful for that. And here's what we forget. You know, we need, at least I think we need some rain around here. Now, I know in different places in Indiana they've had some real thunderstorms, but we haven't had a lot of rain lately. Here's what people forget in the midst of a storm, and some people are scared to death of storms. We had a big German Shepherd named Toby. Ronnie, you remember Toby? Toby could, does anybody remember a Chevy Citation? Does anybody remember those vehicles? Loud noises would make Toby mad, and Toby could go grab the tire on a Chevy Citation and pop it. I saw him do it more than once. But when it would storm, when it would thunderstorm, that big, white, mean German Shepherd would try to get in the house, and if he could get in the house, he'd go in the living room in that big farmhouse, and he would literally hide behind the couch. Scared half to death. He could bite and bust a tire on a Chevy Citation, and yet in the midst of a storm, he'd be hiding behind the couch, scared to death. And I'll tell you how it started. When he was very young, Dad had made a trip to Tennessee and stopped at that place where they sold those illegal fireworks and brought them back to Indiana. And in our backyard, we were letting off those illegal fireworks, and it scared Toby half to death. So when he heard a thunderstorm, he was ready to head for the house and hide behind the couch. But do you know what we forget to realize is happening in the midst of a storm? Showers of blessings. And tonight I was thinking, mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. And I want us to just remember that. And God in the midst of storms can give us showers of blessings. Amen. I want you to gather around and let's get ready to pray. Lee, Why don't you come back and just play the chorus of Many Things About Tomorrow I Don't Seem to Understand while we're praying tonight. Gather around, folks. Let's call on God in this service. While we're gathering, do you have any prayer requests you need to pray for? Ronnie Romans' family. His aunt passed away, and he has her funeral Saturday, right? Let's remember this. Trina, tell us real quick, how's Denny doing?
Well, his eye is about the same, but there's no infection so far.
Thank the Lord.
That's the good part. He
Thank
sees the optometrist every day until Friday, because they're keeping a very close eye on it.
Okay.
But anyway, he's doing as good as can be expected. It was a very deep, wide laceration on his eye. So it's going to take a while to heal.
Let's continue to pray for him. Is there anyone else that has a prayer request tonight? She's at the point of death now? Okay. Oh, let's remember this request. Anyone else? Yes. Thank you. Phyllis is going to try to come to church Sunday. She had surgery about 3 weeks ago, and recovery has been much more difficult than she expected to be, but she's planning to be here Sunday. But please do remember Sister Ruby in prayer as well. Thank you, Kim. Anyone else? I'm sure we have unspoken requests. The Lord sees every need. Let's lift our voices and pray. Lord, thank you that you've heard us tonight as we've sung songs to you. Thank you that you've heard these testimonies. Oh God, thank you that you know the cry of our hearts. Lord, we heard more than one person testify that they've experienced the chastening of the Lord this week. Oh God, thank you that you love us enough to let us know when we're on the wrong path. Oh God, thank you for your grace tonight. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your love. Thank you for everything you're doing for us and for how you're helping us. Now, Lord, we've been in the midst of several storms, and Lord, we don't see showers of blessings in the midst of storms. We just hear the thunder and the lightning and the wind, and it scares us at times, Lord. And oh God, the devil's been oppressing some people in our church, and the devil's been discouraging some, and some of our people are fighting sickness and are unable to be here because of sickness. Oh, in Jesus' name, would you stay the hand of the enemy tonight, I pray. And would you touch each one of us and help us? Lord, touch us physically tonight. Those that are struggling physically, and emotionally, and mentally, oh God, touch them tonight, I pray. And help them for Jesus' sake. Lord Jesus, help us spiritually tonight. Lord, oppression is from the enemy of our soul. And spiritual oppression and depression is not of God. And so we ask you to help us spiritually tonight. We ask you to lift our spirits. We ask you to touch us, Lord. We ask you to roll the clouds away. Speak to our hearts and speak peace to us tonight, I pray, blessed Jesus. Oh God, we realize there's a million uncertainties that are all around us. And Lord, it seems like our world's gone absolutely stark raving mad. And it seems like people have gone stark raving mad. And Lord, we don't fully understand everything that's going on. And at times it causes us to want to just hunker down until the storms have settled and the clouds have cleared. But oh God, we want to stay faithful to you. In the midst of the storm, we want to be at our post of duty. We don't want to be hunkered down in a bunker, Lord, but we want to be on the front lines doing what you would have us do. So Jesus, help each one of us tonight, I pray, to be at our best for you, to draw close to you, and to say, God, you can count on me in the midst of the storm to be faithful and true. Oh, Jesus, thank you that you're with us tonight. God, we lift all of these requests to you. You heard us mention each one of them by name. You know all about these unspoken requests. We pray for them tonight, God. Oh, God, we pray for Steve Powell's uncle who's at the point of death. We pray you would be with him. Lord Jesus, we pray for Mary Vanette's daughter-in-law tonight who's at the point of death. Oh, God, I pray that you would touch her and help her. Lord, Gene and Carol, we pray for them tonight. And Michael Murdoch, and we pray for Denny Palmer tonight, Lord. And we pray for Sister Ruby, and we pray, dear Lord, for Phyllis tonight. We pray for Vernon tonight. We pray for others who are struggling, God, that you would touch them and help them. May they sense the healing hand of God. church family that's on vacation. God, keep them in your care. Keep them safe. Help them to have a good time. We pray for our young people as they're headed back to school. Touch them, I pray, blessed Jesus. And may they sense your divine presence in your touch. And, oh God, we know a lot of people are fighting the bug. We know kids that are fighting the bug. Oh God, protect us, I pray. Keep us in your care for Jesus' sake. Oh God, we're believing you. We're trusting you to help us. God, we pray for Brother Hires' grandson tonight. Lord, he's been in the hospital now 3 weeks. Oh God, touch this baby, I pray. Touch his dad and mom. May they sense your comfort and your help. Be with them, I pray, blessed Jesus. Oh, have your will and way tonight, I pray. Lord Jesus, be with us as we leave this place and keep us in your care. Draw us near and close to you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Praise God. Yes, we do. Folks, Friday and Saturday, we need a lot of help at the school to get ready for Monday. And if there's any way you can come and help us, it would be wonderful. God bless you. Have a good night. Be safe. Be blessed.